What's good, everybody? It's Lucky. Today, I'm gonna be talking about why it's lonely at the top. So as y'all can see, I have this beautiful lakeside view. And man, it's just stunning. But before I talk about what I'm gonna talk about, I want y'all to really ask yourselves this question. How many people are willing to visualize and go to an area like this? Fuck, you don't even gotta be an area like this. Just an area where they have clarity. How many people are willing to clear their minds so they can think about the person that they want to be? Think about that. Very few people. Why is it lonely at the top? Well, that's a great question. It's lonely at the top for several reasons. First reason, mindset shifts. Second reason, conversations change. Third reason, only few people can talk about what you like to talk about. Let's go on to the first reason. The mindset changes. Whoever's watching this, I like to believe that you're on your personal journey. You're on a journey to becoming the greatest version of yourself. So you're no longer doing the things that the old version of yourself used to do. You're in the process of cutting out all the bullshit habits that you once had, and you're replacing them with high income habits. So instead of watching porn, start visualizing the type of person, the man that you want to be. Instead of eating unhealthy foods, you start to put processed foods in your body. Instead of sleeping in every fucking day, you start waking up at 5 a.m. You start hitting the gym. Instead of hanging out with old girl or hanging out with friends who just want to smoke and drink, you say fuck it. You cut off your entire friend group and you start hanging around with millionaires, with people who are abundant with knowledge. That's the type of millionaire that I like. You know, you don't have to have $1 million of cash to be a millionaire. To me, you have to have an abundance of knowledge. And to me, elderly people are the perfect people for that. But the mindset is changing. You start doing things that the old version of yourself would never do. So automatically, the people that you usually used to fuck with, they can't see that. They think that you're becoming distant. They think that you're switching up, that you're changing. But it's not that. They don't understand. And that's okay. They're normal. Number 2, conversations change. You're not on your shit. You're not on your grind. So you're no longer worried about the bullshit that you used to worry about. Nah. Like me personally, I'm into trading. I'm into entrepreneurship. I'm into all things just success. I'm into becoming the greatest version of myself. And if we're not talking about that, honestly, I feel bored, you know? I might fucking yawn in somebody's face. And I guess you could say it's disrespectful, depending on how you look at it. To me, I'm proud. Because it's like, okay, I'm no longer interested about old shit that used to interest me. Can we talk about something else? Can we talk about something greater? Something that's going to elevate both of us? If we can't, then what's the point of having a conversation? I feel like, why waste my breath? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have a conversation with myself than have a conversation with somebody my age. Especially because majority of people around my age, they on bullshit. And I'm not talking down on anybody. You know, people are on bullshit. People are doing the things that regular people do. People are being mediocre. There's nothing wrong with that. I just want to be better. Those people who live mediocre and average lives, they're just normal people. And there's nothing wrong with being normal. But if you're watching this, I know you don't want to be fucking normal. I know you're tired of being tired. I know you're tired of having to live within the limitations of not being financially free, of having to rely on somebody else. You are not independent and you're a grown-ass individual. I can't live like that, me personally, which is why I already made the conscious decision a long time ago that I wasn't gonna live like that. I already started to put myself in position to succeed in an early age. You know what I'm saying? So we're not talking down on normal people because They are what they are. They're normal. But you got to be able to understand that with these normal people, since the conversations are changing, since you want to talk about business, talk about business plans, talk about networking, talk about just becoming greater, and these people want to talk about parties, drama, you got to be able to cut that shit out like real fast. Because one thing my mentor always says, you are the average of the 5 people that you hang around with. So you could be the person in your friend group who everybody looks up to, who everybody asks for motivation. You think that you're doing good. You think that you're serving value to the world. And I guess you could say that you are. But at what cost? You're providing value to all of your friends who are on bullshit. And basically the trade-off that you're getting is you're losing energy. Energy that you could have put onto yourself or onto high-income individuals to show them why you are worthy of mentorship. You're wasting that shit on people who are not even adamant about creating their lives and taking control of their destiny. You're just wasting it. So I guess you are providing value, but at what cost? The risk to reward ratio is terrible. Unlimited risk. The odds are against your favor. You have to be able to cut these people off and say fuck the conversations that you want to have. You either have my conversations or we don't talk at all. And if we don't talk at all, then that's fine. The last reason why it's lonely at the top is because only few people can relate. Only few people are on the same type of timer that you're on. Not everybody on this planet was meant to be an entrepreneur, was meant to not work a 9 to 5, was meant to be an innovator, was meant to be extremely successful. Not everybody on this planet was meant to do that, So just know that by you trying to be a top 1% individual, now I know that there's 1% chance in every person that you talk to that person's gonna have a similar mindset or similar character traits, or that y'all will be able to connect on something that's not on a superficial level. So the percentage is very small and only few people can relate. Since you have a smaller pool size of people who you can actually connect with and relate with and grow with, you instantly hang out with less people. It's crazy. See, a lot of people don't understand that as you're on your grind to the top, being lonely is like a prerequisite to success. Only hanging around with a very small circle, it's kind of like a necessity. You know how in mathematics or in engineering, you need to take X, Y, and Z courses, or calculus, chemistry, all the fundamental classes before you can go into your major specific classes? Well, you have to be isolated before you can actually grow. You have to hang around with very small, select few group of people before you can actually break that barrier and become the version of yourself and achieve the goals that you set for yourself. It's crazy. You're only relating with few people, so you no longer need validation or the dopamine that you get from talking with somebody. You no longer stoop to other individuals' level. You're not okay with having a standard being high as hell, because now you're talking to yourself. You're being more intimate with the person that you're looking at. You're having all these deep, fascinating conversations with yourself, and you're just uncovering, kind of like a rose petal. You're uncovering each layer till you get to the center where all the nectar is at. That's why bees go over there. You know what I'm saying? But it's lonely at the top. I want y'all to know though, anything worth doing is not going to be easy. So with you continuing to isolate yourself, with you continuing to be in the trenches, with you continuing to do stuff that regular people don't like to do, just know that it's going to pay off in the long run. You might not be getting instant gratification, but you're building. You're going to get that delayed gratification. And when you're able to purchase your dream car, when you're able to buy your mom a fucking house, when you're able to have financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom, when you're able to become the person that you wrote in your notebook 6 months ago, when you're able to cross off that goal, check, that feeling right there is going to be greater than any drug that you can ever consume, than any female that you can ever talk to. So just keep grinding. Just know that it's very crowded at the bottom. But if you're watching this, I know you want to be greater. So what I'm going to leave you with is I'll see you at the top, because the bottom is too crowded. But so what I'll leave you with is I'll see you at the top, because the bottom is way too crowded. It's more profitable to believe in yourself than it is to believe that you can't. So never look down on anybody unless you're willing to give them a hand to help them up. It's Lucky, and I'm out.